I offer my obeisance to the divine in you. In the next few videos, we'll talk about some practices, some yogic practices you can do to strengthen your meditation. It is a common problem that when you sit down to meditate, your mind goes in different directions all the time. You don't want to think about things, but you end up thinking about it. You don't want to feel certain things, but you end up feeling those things. How to get past that? One of the things I talked about earlier was how you can build your practice of meditation by meditating 5 minutes at a stretch. So 5 minutes, build it to 6 minutes, 7 minutes, and so on. But other than that, when you are not meditating, is there anything that you can do to build your practice of meditation? Is there anything that you can do to strengthen your grip, your hold on your own mind? The answer is yes, and there are 7 yogic practices that personally I have benefited a great deal from all these years walking the path of meditation. So let me begin with the first one. It's called Ekagrata. Ekagrata means concentration. More specifically, it means one-pointed concentration. If you read Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, there are 8 steps on his path. That's why it's called Ashtanga Yoga or 8-limbed yoga. Yam, Niyam, Asan, Pranayam, Pratyahar, Dharana, Dhyan, Samadhi. The 7th step is Dhyan, which is meditation. Samadhi, the 8th step, is realization of meditation. The 6th step, it's called Dharana. Dharana means concentration. Same as what I was talking earlier, Ekagrata, which also means concentration. To build a one-pointed concentration, you can take up a practice, and that is called the practice of concentration. The difference between concentration and meditation is initially an act. It's something you do, but over time, with practice, meditation happens to you. You are in a state of meditation. With concentration, however, it's always something that you have to do. It's always an act, always a verb. So here's how you do the practice of concentration. You sit down in your yogic posture. In one of my earlier videos, I talked about the 8 elements of posture. You follow those 8 aspects. You sit down in your normal yogic posture. Abandon all body movements. And pick any object of concentration. That's the other thing in meditation. When you meditate on a void or on the formless, you can afford to not meditate on anything specific. But when it comes to concentration, you have to build your concentration on something specific. So pick any object of concentration, abandon all body movements. Before you sit down, promise yourself that you are going to practice concentration for, let's say, 15 minutes or 10 minutes or so on. So you practice that concentration, abandoning all body movements. You sit there and you build your concentration by maintaining your focus on your object of concentration. One of the other differences between meditation and concentration is, in meditation, it's all internal. So even if you're meditating on a form, for example, what you have to do is you have to visualize the form, close your eyes, and hold that visualization in front of your inner eye. In concentration, you can just simply maintain your focus on something external with your eyes open, but the main thing is you still have to be alert and you still have to be mindful, so that it's not simply looking at an object, it's concentrating on that object, so that your mind is not going in different directions. When it does, gently refresh your gaze by looking elsewhere. Maybe ideally you should move your head, but if you have to, then move your head, look elsewhere, refresh your gaze, take a deep breath, and go back to your point of concentration. Simply put, this is what concentration is all about. There is a story in Mahabharata that Bhima, out of the 5 Pandavas, the 5 brothers, Bhima used to eat a lot. One time Arjuna, the great archer and warrior, went into the kitchen at night and saw Bhima eating in dark. And he was startled. He thought, how come this guy's eating in dark, in pitch dark, when I can't even see my own hand? And he asked Bhima the next day, Bhima, I saw you eating in the kitchen last night. Bhima said, no, I wasn't eating. Arjuna said, I did see you. He said, how were you doing that? How could you manage that? Bhima said, well, I've been stealing food since I was a child. And I'm now so used to it that I don't have to see to see. I don't have to have light in order to see. I can just go in dark. Food, my hunger for food guides me. And Arjuna had a great realization that if Bhima can concentrate in dark, why can't I? And he started practicing archery in the dark so he could just shoot by the slightest sound without having to see the object. So that's what happens with concentration. The more you concentrate, the better you get, not just in meditation, not just at meditation, at anything. Anything you undertake, if you can maintain your concentration, you can get done a lot more in lot less. And mindfulness, which I talked about earlier, is the art, is the fuel that's going to aid your concentration. Without mindfulness, there is no real concentration possible. And I have to talk to you about the next practice, which is, what if you are not really concentrating? What do you call that practice where you just simply keep your eyes open and you are not actually concentrating? Your mind may be elsewhere, but you are keeping your eyes still. So that's something I will talk about in the next video. This is the 7 yogi practices we're talking about. So I just covered the first one today, called Ekagrata, which is concentration. We'll cover the next one in the next video. Thank you very much. I hope this was helpful.